Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I'm here to reject my humanity, JoJo! Alright, all jokes aside, I'm so glad that I got to use this piece of plastic that I bought off of Etsy for, like, way too much money and has no purpose besides to be a relic of JoJo's. I'm so usually not a person who buys, like, figurines and stuff. I prefer to kind of draw my own and make them out of paper, and that's a holdover from being poor. And I've been doing it the whole time, but I saw this pop up on Etsy, and I had to have one. And so I have one. I'm gonna plop it right over here. All right, and we can have the stone mask witnessing everything. That's a little spooky. Welcome, everyone. I'm Teeaboo. It is March 19th, and I'm thrilled to announce that the first episode, a big double, triple 48-minute thing, has released on Netflix. Part 8. That's wrong. Part 7 is here, y'all, and I'm so far beyond excited. I'm not supposed to be watching this today. That's how excited I am. I'm supposed to be watching Ashita no Joe. And I missed Heavenly Delusion yesterday, too, because I've been so freaking tired. So my whole schedule is all borked, and that sucks, but I don't care. I woke up this morning with every intention of just following my schedule, watching Ashita no Joe, and continuing on, and maybe figuring out when to watch JoJo's later in the weekend or whatever. But I felt a pull, I felt drawn, I felt called, I felt a need to go and watch this thing as soon as possible. Ashita no Joe isn't going anywhere, but the opportunity to watch JoJo's the day after it releases, like immediately, that's only here right now. And so I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch it, and I can't wait. I'm so thrilled. In the interests of keeping this intro a little bit short, I have done my drawing for the day a little bit early. In the beginnings of most of my videos, I draw something that's tangentially related at least to the episode that we're going to watch, and that's like multifaceted. It's me growing as an artist and trying to teach myself how to draw. It's a way for me to put my brain into the space of the show and sort of think about things. It's a way to like learn pieces of art that are directly related to the show and explore all kinds of stuff. And also a cool thing that I end up creating in the beginning of every episode that ends up being like really fun and part of my own creative journey. I usually put that on screen and I draw it on camera and speed it up and stuff, but I want to keep this tight, so I did it a little bit early and I drew a big old belt buckle because I don't know anything that fits the themes that I'm aware of in JoJo's Part 7 better than a big old star on an American belt buckle. So, with that, I think we should talk about Part 7 and what I do and don't know about it first. I try to stay as blind as a bat when it comes to new stuff, but things through cultural osmosis always filter in, and JoJo's is so meme-worthy and so vast and so beloved that lots of things end up kind of percolating through the semi-permeable membrane of my attempts to avoid spoilers. What have I been spoiled on? The first thing is kind of meta. It's kind of out of the show. And it is that in the beginning of part 7, maybe a couple chapters in, I'm not exactly sure if it actually started right from the get-go, Hirohiko Araki would transition for writing for Weekly Shonen Jump to writing for monthly Shonen Ultra Jump, that one, which is more of a seinen magazine and releases monthly. JoJo's throughout its run is incredible for lots of reasons, but one of those reasons is that the chapters that Araki puts out are put out on a weekly scheduled deadlined basis, and there's very little other manga that looks anywhere near the way that JoJo's looks on a weekly basis release. But there's always been a sense in me that Araki could do more, that if he had more time, he could write more intricate storylines, he could make each fight, each stand battle, each interaction, each chapter fold more definitively into those storylines. There would be less sort of filler episodes, filler segments, where it's just a stand battle that happens or a weird interaction that happens. And those are always like fun and engaging and enjoyable, but they don't always fold into the overall narrative in a cohesive way. And you can get the feeling like, man, maybe he wanted to write the next chapter next, but needed something to fill the space now. And this works and it works okay, but if only we had a little bit more time. And now Araki has the time. or did years ago when he was actually writing the manga for this part. What that's going to mean for the cohesion of the story, I don't know. And whether it will actually feel different as it's been transitioned into the adaptation medium that is animation, I don't know. But I'm really excited to see what Hirohiko Araki himself can do with more time to plan and plot and draw and write. And I think it's going to lead to a much better product. I think it's going to lead to a really interesting piece of media because even on a weekly schedule, he was able to tell these amazingly interlinked, amazingly resonant stories that have had such an impact on me and so many other millions of people. I'm just excited to see what he can do when the limiters are off and he's no longer wearing the weighted clothing and doing whatever the fuck he wants. On the note of manga in particular, after watching the episodes via the anime, I will at some point, though not today, because that would be way too much of a video to try to bite off for today, I will at some point go and read through the entire manga portion that attaches to this episode, to each episode as they come out. Those will go up on the Patreon and then filter out through the YouTube in sort of a normal format. So if you want to catch those as early as possible and these reactions as early as possible, check out the Patreon that's linked in the description. That'll get you access to early access, so you see videos like this one the minute that they drop. As soon as they come out on Patreon, and then I got to figure out some other stuff before I put them out on YouTube. And it also gets you access to a Discord full of like-minded anime enjoyers who are pretty darned active, and we spend quite a bit of time talking about lots of little things in each episode and getting hyped for the next episode. So if you want to be a part of a community like that, head over to the Discord, throw me $1, and welcome. Okay, that part of the spiel is set aside and done. Spoilers and things that I know. So I'll put a timestamp here to a minute or two later when I'm done talking about everything that I know or think that I know about Part 7 that could be considered a spoiler. Okay? Okay. Part 7 spoilers, things that have just filtered into my brain space. I know that this is called Steel Ball Run. I know that there is a magical force called spin, and I have no idea what the fuck that is or how it relates to stands or literally anything else in the entire universe. I know that this is all a reset. And I'm not sure exactly how. We have either transported to another dimension or reset the timeline in this dimension, but in either way, we are way back in the past, like the 1700s, 1800s, somewhere in there, way back in the past, before any of the events of any of the other JoJo's situations, and we're going to build a new legacy, a new lineage, a new set of stories that I have to believe is also going to be interrelated with the old one. Shit got wild at the end of part 6, and I think that that's the thing that has caused everything to and get warped and destroyed and demolished and vanishified. Souls and spirits, I don't know. And now we reset to a time in the distant past. We will be following one Johnny Joestar, I think is his name. I know his name is Johnny, and I'm assuming it's Joestar because that's our JoJo. And there will be a horse race. I'm fairly certain that that is literally everything that I know about Steel Ball Run. There's a horse race. Wild. Wild. Our boy is named Johnny. We're gonna be in America. This is in the distant future past. And shit got all timeline scrambled because Poochie is an asshole. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I'm just taking a minute to sort of soak in the anticipation. In a strange way, in the back of my mind, JoJo's is where this all starts for me. A certain degree of the love for anime starts here in JoJo's. And then when I first started watching Golden Experience Part 5, when it was airing, it was only a little while after I started the channel. And I was plodding along making the channel work. Grinding away at Legend of the Galactic Heroes and putting out tons of episodes of tons of content. And then JoJo's dropped, and I started reacting to it immediately, right as it came out. And there are a couple of places in the beginning arc of the channel that sort of catapulted me to being able to do this, being able to actually make these videos, do these deep dives into anime. One of them was at a certain point in Sangatsu no Lion, sort of I sort of told a piece of my life story, and that brought some people to be like really serious fans of mine, and that was really cool. But in my mind, when I look back, I feel like part 5 beginning was a huge boon to me. And I was able to engage with this thing that I really deeply love and share that love across the internet. And uh it resonated with other people, and other people found me because of it. And I'm so absolutely grateful for everything that Hirohiko Araki, a bajillion miles away, years and years and years ago, has done for me, creating this piece of art, this piece of storytelling that has resonated across time and space with millions of people, and created worlds that I want to talk about, that give me the opportunity to speak and to communicate my love for a thing, my love for art and creation itself, for storytelling, for anime and for manga as media. And I'm so deeply humbled and so deeply grateful to be able to witness the next stage of it, to watch this journey keep going and to be a part of it, to add my voice to the sea of voices that will now be reacting to and watching JoJo's. There are many, many, many thousands more people doing things similar to what I do, but I still don't think there's anybody who does quite what I do. And so I'm really glad to be able to bring my voice and my insights and my opinions about media and about art and my love of JoJo's to bear, and to share it with you as we watch through this first episode and off into the future as JoJo's releases. I hope that if you enjoyed this content, you'll consider subscribing to the channel and keeping an eye out for future videos, or, as I mentioned earlier, coming and supporting me directly on the Patreon. You'll notice that there will not be any ads on this video or any future videos, and that's because I do not monetize through YouTube. YouTube is simply an archive repository where I put my timer-based videos. Everything else is done directly between me and you, the watcher, the creator, via the Patreon. So if you'd like to support this kind of independent content, I am a one-man band. I do all the editing, I do all the things, all the whole spiel myself. If you'd like to support this kind of content and keep me alive and keep me doing it, head over to Patreon and show your love, and I appreciate it so immensely. And thank you to all of you who have supported in the past or are currently supporting. It's amazing to me that I get to continue doing this really wonderful, insane job that I do, where I get to witness what I think are the densest, most interesting creations of modern humanity, and I get to share that experience directly with anyone who wants to watch it. I can think of nothing better that I would rather be doing with my life. So, I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity to keep doing it. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's all we gotta say. I'm gonna do manga readings and reactions a bit later at some other point in the future. I've got a page of paper for my notes. We just gotta watch some JoJo's. We gotta see what's going on. What's going on? Oh, music. I want to mention this because I want to mention this early because it's really cool. Oh, it's also another thing that I have spoiled for me. I should mention it anyway. There is a playlist on Spotify. There are actually a couple of them, but there is a playlist on Spotify called All JoJo References, by a guy named Ren. And in it, this guy has coagulated and conglomerated literally every song reference or music artist reference in the entire run of JoJo's, and either chosen the song that's directly related to the song, so like Freaking You or Sheer Heart Attack, right? And then for the ones that are just an artist, has chosen like a representative song by the artist and smashed those all into a playlist. I cannot tell you how much wonderful music I've discovered because of that playlist, and by extension because of Hirohiko Araki's weird tendency to name shit in his manga after music he enjoys. It's like getting a torch passed to me, and I end up getting to listen to the same music that he was listening to like 20 years ago when he was drawing this shit, and I fucking love it. So I just wanted to shout out this wonderful playlist called All JoJo's References. by Ren, and maybe I'll put a link to it in the description somewhere in case you want to go check it out yourself and run through the nostalgia bomb of all the previous seasons and maybe even keep up with the next one as they go. But on that note, I did see the first song in the like transition from the previous part to this part, which is Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. That's all I saw, and I have no idea what that song is, and I don't have a recollection of it. So maybe when we finish the episode, we'll go and listen to it. Maybe something like that. Okay, I think that's it. I know that I've blathered too much, more than I wanted to. I wanted to keep this concise. I wrote notes out for what I was going to say here in the intro, and then I totally went off script. Welcome to T's World. Welcome to my world, everybody. I am a scrambled mess of a human being, but golly, do I watch anime real good. I have downloaded episode 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run, part 6. It's part 7, but it's season 6. It's weird. It's weird. Very annoying. And we're gonna watch it. Uh, 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 we're gonna watch it in sub. We're gonna watch it with English subtitles. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. I'm gonna take a minute. Okay. Let's watch episode 1, 48 minutes long of part 6. I have no idea where we're starting. I have no idea how goofy this is gonna be. JoJo's is so weird because it feels so, like, eternal and everlasting, and then it tells fart jokes and, like, insane shit. There's no way to be ready. There's no way to be prepared. There's no pretending that I'm all set. There's just pushing the button and getting into it. So let's push the button and get into it. This is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 7, Episode 1. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video, with a picture-in-picture version with the full video up in the corner, linked in the description. The video that you're currently watching up on YouTube is going to be timer-based. There will be a chunk with the subtitles down here area under me, and then there will be a little chunk with a timer over here in the corner. And it's meant for you to sync up your own copy of the episode with the things. There will be no sound in it. It's just the thing with the subtitles. People get mad at me for this sometimes, but I'll give you a little explanation. It is for longevity. I do not want these videos to be deleted. I do not want them to disappear. And the best way that I have found to do that is to make them a timer-based format so that you attach your own copy of the copyrighted content to the episode and smish smash bing bang. However, not everybody can watch those, so I do put picture-in-picture versions which contain the entire episode in the description linked there. Generally, the hope is that if copyright shit goes wild, those get taken down and the YouTube archive remains safe. We'll see how it actually works out in 10 years, but that's the goal. So that's what there will be. And for the timer-based version, if you choose to watch it that way, there will be a beep beep timer that I created years and years ago that will be kind of like a racing light. And it'll go boop, 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 beep, and red, yellow, yellow, green. On the green light and the beep is the same frame, sort of synced up in post where I hit the button on here and my video actually starts playing. So you'll get the most accurate syncing you can possibly get if you smash your sync button at the same time that the beep happens. Cool? Cool. 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, beep beep timer to count you down. Let's watch some JoJo's, everybody. Badoom. Oh my god, I can't wait for the music. Super epic. Really fits these sweeping landscapes, too. The cacti! The mesas! JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7. Also, who is that voice? I've heard whoever that is fairly recently. Oh, awesome. Man, we're gonna get so much history, too. Weird Iraqi history, but still history. Oh, shit. That's gotta be a Joe, bro. Oh. Run, boy! He runs like the white man! Did he fall? Oh. So he was against his people reading the books of the white man? So he's gonna get involved somehow. Ooh, cowboys. Fart jokes. Okay, we're in 1890. Is it just me or is the volume pretty quiet? I'm gonna turn it up past 100 a little bit. Oh, wow, through the Great Lakes. Wonder which the hardest section would be. Oh, there's our boy. Oh, he's wheelchair bound? What? Stephen Steele. Whoa, what? Is that his daughter? She's cute. He's like a kappa. Oh. That must be a lot of money in today's day and age. Bring your peace, baby! Oh. Unacceptable. Oh, okay. So it's like it doesn't even matter if we hit the goal. It's about setting out. It's about going for it. If you try, you succeed. Rad. A true competition of the human spirit. I wonder if he's actually like the big bad. I think not. She, my dear. So they're together. She looks like she's got lip fillers in. It's a JoJo's thing, but they're a little much. Okay, you got a ball on your hip. Got a bunch of gold. Yeah. Horse's nose print. Gyro Zeppeli? Gyro Zeppeli! You gotta be fucking. Whoa! Go, Zeppeli! Yo, don't fuck with the magic orbs. Don't fuck with a man's nuts. Whirl! Color swap. He's all twisted up. Oh, this color swap is instant. Why? The guy steal some? He's intimidating. Not a friendly Zeppeli. He's in! Yeah, fuck you. Oh, security's here. Oh, he's got all crazy shit on his horse. Hi, Valkyrie. Oh, it's got the mane all nubbed up. I forget what you call that. This is over. It's absolutely over. Oh, the folding clothes in him are... Whoa! Oh, yeah, you got connections? Huh. Huh. Oh! He's mad. Is he gonna let him try to shoot him? That would be the biggest aura farming power play I could possibly imagine. Come on, buddy. Come at me. Yeah, no, yeah. Holy shit. Okay, I'm wondering if he's actually wheelchair bound. You know, or if it's like a classic JoJo scheme. Uh-huh. This like chant in the background. He thought he could do it. That's pretty nice. No, he's gonna try to kill him. Oh shit. So that's spin, I guess. Sure. Nobody else is weirded out by the fact that he threw a green marble at him and absolutely murderized him by twisting him into bits. Whoa, that was cool. It's still spinning. Oh, is this gonna fix his legs? Okay, so his legs really don't work. But for a moment. Wait. So a Zeppeli and a Joestar collide? He sure is a JoJo. Heart disease. Oh, no, in this day and age. Malaria, huh? Hmm. You're gonna get kicked by my horse, huh? Nah, dog. Nah, dog. It was hope. No. Ah, brutal. Fuck you. Let's go. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Bing. This time he controls it. Sure. Okay. Are we gonna build him a saddle or something? Oh, shit. Oh, it returned. So it lets him, like, do it and damage people, but he can also warp people and things and not damage them. Unprecedented. The steel ball run to commence! That's just an eye catch? That was sick! That was so sick! Hello, horsies. Oh, they're CG. But they've got, like, these dappled layers on them that make them look really good. He's riding a horse. Johnny Joestar. Here's the star. Okay. He's got it in his blood. It's in his blood. So how'd he lose it? Hmm. 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 Ooh. Okay, he's got spiky hairs. Oh. Okay. He's the ultimate horse racer. Who's this kid? Hmm. Hmm. Dickhead move. Using his fame. That's not good. Oh, he got him in the spine? Holy shit. He wanted his spot in line, bro. Oh. Oh, man. Welcome to the old hospitals. He's paralyzed. Oh, shit! That's unexpected. He's using him as a money bank, huh? Nobody cares about you. Wow, that's really close to a thing that happens in Ashita no Joe. Like, identical, actually. Day before the race. Alright, he's gotta get a horse, he's gotta get a special saddle of some kind. I don't know. Oh? Oh! Your boy's trying. Who's the horse? You're just getting dragged around like Hector. Ow! No, he's dreaming about the future, man. Oh, fuck. No. Oh, right. Oh, that's a good horsey. Fuck. He doesn't get involved. Yeah, let's prove him wrong. Oh. Oh, my boy! He's got a little flute. Thank you, thank you, thank you! He's gonna run. Ha ha ha! Ah ha ha! He's just gonna run it. That's fucking sick. I think he's my favorite already. What a boy. What a top tier JoJo Joe bro. We've got an enemy Joe bro in a Zeppeli who doesn't like us very much and doesn't care but is intrigued. We've got JoJo himself in the toughest spot that a JoJo has started, I think. Got a little hip hop influence over some jazzy stuff. Building out this soundtrack space. What? 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 What are you doing with them scissors, bro? She really stands out to me. Mm-mm. Hmm. Hmm. Ghost Rider in the sky. That's dope. That's dope. Wait. Wait. What? What? Another lineage. Wait, is that? Wait, no, it's a Dio. I was actually thinking it was a totally different character. What? Okay, we got a laser focus on Diego Brando now. Holy shit. And it's like, what is warped from dimension to dimension? Like, how Dio-y is he? Oh, that's so much fun. Okay, cool. They get to stay along with. He's got the upper body strength. He can do it. Oh, buddy. Thanks, horse buddy. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, the automobile. He's fucked. As soon as you hit mountains, you're so screwed. Whoa. So it's just being aligned with the natural rotation of things? I think that's what I'm getting from it. You already have the answer. Just angular momentum in different ways. God, that can fold so weird into physics. It begins! That's a dope, a big wide spread of horses kicking off. Looks great. That's a CG Johnny. He's got a connection with the horse. That's about the midpoint, huh? So that feels like it could have been episode 1, and this could be episode 2. San Diego to New York. Wee-hoo! All right, how soon are we going to get violence? Oh, Zeppeli. Is there some way to use spin to make you faster? Violence. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. They're playing bumper horses. Diego? Ah, it's Diego Brando. He's a gentleman? The Mongolian? No, it's Abdul. Oh, he's on a camel. Holy shit. I'm so glad to have you back. I mean, I know it's not you, technically, but holy shit. What? Let the battles begin. Hey! Incredible. He'll be alright. Ow. Ow. No way. He'll be back. I hope. Yeah, what is he doing here? Oh, he was hiding the... Was he hiding it? Yeah. Yeah, it's the craziest magic shit that could possibly happen. Yo! Who's this? Hello? We got a homie. He looks like he's an aviator. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna matter a lot. Sorry, what? Oh, I can run so fast. 777? All luck? Three oh yeah, they're done skis. Mm? Hmm. It's a really funny jab at automobiles. Also known as Dio. Yeah, we just call him by that. We have no reason. Why the swerving, though? Why the zigzag? Is it his own magic powers? Hi! How's he doing that? Yeah, the powers are starting to brew up. His pants are fucking weird. Oh? Quirk. So he reads and manipulates people and creatures? Okay. And so you pick up the speed. Wild. Oh my god, the first Blom! And it's horse racing! Maybe with spin you can. Boom! Building in the music. He's a damn genius. Tensaida! Wow, we've only made it 2 miles? Oh! But... Okay. Okay. He's twisting up the horse. What? As though he just wants to see people reach their full potential. That fits for a Zappelli. Shit. Yo. Let's go, Pocoloco! What you got, boy? You don't got that. Oh, shit! The runner! But he went off course. He knows his way. He knows his way. Pocoloco's going for it. You know he's going for it. Oh. Maybe not. I have no idea. Hmm. Hmm. Whoa, she's really familiar. Is that the old lady who had the one of the card stands? One of the tarot stands? This is so crazy. It gets to like lean on its own mythology. Yeah, no. Pass. Yeah, man. That's enough to enter. Yeah. And he's here. All right, man. Wham. Go, horsey. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, go, horsey. Horsey, no! You're holding the whole horse? Oh, it's around the saddle. Okay. Jesus. Jesus. He made it. Thanks, homie. The legs of a horse. But he runs like the white man. Mm. Did he leave the rope behind? God, that's cool looking. Hmm. Some kind of trick? Oh. Follow or take the gamble? Okay. Oh, what's up? I don't know, man. He just believes in luck. Insane. Smash. Insane. We got some weird characters. Are you gonna snap back? Oh, fuck! Maybe Pocoloco's out of it. Aw, I thought he was gonna be a whole character. Oh, he's still coming. Okay, okay, okay. A little bit of luck. Insane, 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 insane. I mean, if it's not, then what you did shouldn't be either. You're still ahead of the pack. Oh, wow. That's some broken ankles, man. Poor horsies. Is that a stand? Like, that's a different voice. You're gonna get your horse hurt. Yo, yo, yo! He's an idiot who might win. Mm-hmm. Some of them are gonna tumble for sure. Oh, shit. And Johnny? Fuck. Unless that was somehow lucky. Oh, did he use... Oh! Wait, wait, what? What? Yeah, and instead of getting stabbed on the horns, you just rode it. Yes, absolutely. It's gotta be a power that Pocoloco isn't aware of. And we heard voices too, so I think it's a stand. Or stands? Well, he sure can. He did. This somehow isn't gonna work. Oh! He's running it! Sandman! Enter Sandman, Metallica? You got a little bit of a bump in the animation. My guy is literally running alongside horses! What the fuck? This is dope. Mmm. My guy is racing a train barefoot. That's so goddamn cool. Pocoloco, of all people, is in the lead. All right, what do you got, Gyro? Oh, just zooming. No spin here or nothing. He knows his horse. Oh! Yeah! More than you know. More than you know. Time to make a move. Are we gonna get like a tie between all the main characters? Wait. It's Dio! He's back in it. He's really good at climbing. What? Oh, he's drafting. Like in bike racing, he's drafting behind other cars. Horses. Oh. Ah! By sliding down it. Everybody's making their move. I love it. I love that he's here. So wild. Four, huh? And then Dio. Okay. I want a photo finish. Whoa! Oh, he's spinning rocket winds out of his cloak. He built jet engines. Absolutely insane. Win. Okay, no surprise there. Okay, so this is a multi-part tour. Do they get time off their horses now? Oh. Mmm. Mmm. Maybe physically too. And the legend begins. Fucking to be continued. Do we get a song? I'm gonna listen through it. Extremely epic. The soundtrack has been really great. There hasn't been a standout piece for me, but it's all had it's all got, like, ancestry. It's all built out of similar sou That's really cool. This has gotta be the main theme. Not the OP, but, like, the theme. Yeah, I'm seeing, like, a minute and stuff at the end, but that might be Netflix shit, like, other voices and stuff. Yeah, okay. We're gonna stop it there then. Bam! There goes our first episode, and we've been introduced to a wild cast of characters tossed into an absolutely insane set of circumstances. This is so fun. It ends up being so laser focused compared to other JoJo's episode or JoJo's beginnings. It's oh, what a weird situation. There's too much for me to unpack rapidly, but there are some pieces that stand out to me. Everything is influenced by stuff that we know about by like characters that we know, but it's not the same. It's all alternate universe, like warped and twisted and stuff. So we've got a Zeppeli who is in a similar position where he's got access to power and our Joestar doesn't. But instead of being like a friendly dude who's just here to show you how Hamon works, instead he's something else. He's on in it for his own purposes. But there are layers to that. He's got an element of like being interested in seeing other people reach their full potential or like express their quirks completely. That's really interesting. We have a Dio relative. We have Diego Brando, who people call Dio, who's a gentleman. Interesting. And a little bit scheming, but not scummy. Not yet, at least. We've got goddamn Sandman, a Native American who decides that he's gonna run it in order to take the white man's money. And at some point, we're gonna find out a whole lot more about him. We've got Pocoloco, the 777 luckiest boy in the universe, who's also started to hear some voices and might be the first of our characters to maybe have a stand. Let's be honest, I don't know if stands are a thing in this universe. I don't know if stands exist, right? I don't know how we have no grasp on the metaphysics. Spin or whirl is really interesting. Hamon was ripple, it's light resonance, it's breath. This is spin, and again, it changes things. Again, it's like linked in some fundamental way to an aspect of physics, and then turned up into something metaphysical and magic. um, but spin is like a fundamental property of the universe, angular momentum as a whole. But then once you get to like a very low level, like subatomic particle stuff, we determine how a lot of those work by a trait that we call spin. Although it's not actually exactly that they're spinning or anything. That's just the trait, the thing that we call it. Things spin up and spin down, and maybe spin other ways than that. I don't really know. My quantum physics isn't great. The whole thing is set up as this enormous event, which gives me almost the feeling of watching like a sports anime, where you get to be laser focused on this arena, and everything kind of really important takes place within the arena. It gives us the opportunity to have commentators and other people watching and witnessing, and competition in between by the characters. It lets us do stuff in world that's happening in the actual horse race, and then jump out of that to show like historical background and interactions that happened elsewhere. All the characters get to bring their history and their personality and express it on a grand stage in this big horse race. And it lets us have like lots of other characters who can emerge. We can turn characters who are just sort of background elements into real threats because they end up having special powers and shit. Fuck, man, this is really, really cool. I really like the ideas that are present here in this first episode, and it determines where everything goes from here, the setup that moves forward. Some things that are absolute surprises to me. A a paralyzed JoJo. A paralyzed JoJo. Fascinating. A paralyzed JoJo whose impetus to do this is to discover the secrets of something that he believes, maybe wrongly, could fix his legs. Legs that he lost by being a dickhead. Like, not to say that he deserves to be shot in the back and paralyzed and tortured in a hospital and stuff. I don't think anybody deserves that, but there's a layer of karmic justice there that Johnny Joestar does not start this off as being a very good guy. Yeah? It's an interesting counter to our introduction to somebody like Joseph, which also happened in America on the New York streets, where he sees somebody in trouble and fights authority in order to save them, in order to protect them, you know? And that kind of reveals Joseph as this mischievous but heroic character who really stands for something good and just. Johnny has no such burden. He's just in this for himself, at least for right now. And the same goes for everybody else. So our themes end up being much more personal and much more complicated. This is a mission for Johnny to discover the truth, to he's been pulled by something, drawn by something, you know? But it's also a quest to restore himself to what he believes he should be, to wholeness. He's he's broken. At least he sees himself as broken and sees hope, as he says in the last lines. And he'll follow it all the way across the country. Okay, having sort of sat with my initial thoughts for a moment, let's talk through production style and vibes. David Productions has been the JoJo's people since the beginning, and while there are some ups and downs over the course of the span of JoJo's, I gotta say that I think that DP generally does a really great job. Um, the last couple had some of those down beats to them, and I think that a lot of that came to production schedules. So, I will tell you, we don't currently have a production schedule for JoJo's, and it is really up in the air at this point in time how they're going to release them moving forward. My sincerest hope is that they take influence from the fact that Araki took longer between each chapter to write them, and they give DP longer between each portion to animate them. I would personally really love if this was a monthly released 48-minute OVA or something like it. Or even a longer release and just a couple scattered episodes every once in a while when they're done and when they're ready. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know if Netflix is going to batch drop them like they did with Stone Ocean, which seemed terrible and was really bad for me in the reaction format stuff for sure, but also seemed to really hamstring the production in certain portions. That said, that's what the future holds. What the present holds is pretty freaking awesome. This episode is well put together. It is well constructed. The assets that they're using, 2D and 3D, meld and blend together fairly seamlessly. There is no point during the entire span of this 48-minute episode where I was taken out of the flow of things by any sort of flaw or mistake or even drop in quality in the animation, and most importantly, the style and tone and vibes. Because while JoJo's is animated and sincerely animated, there are lots of very impressive things. It's not exactly like a Sakuga fest of a show most of the time. It relies instead very heavily on vibes. And that's harder, I think, to unpack than just like, wow, this is really high quality animation. There are obviously like individual talented Sakuga artists coming in and blowing this thing up. You know, like when we're watching Jujutsu Kaisen or something, or Free Ren or something, and it's like, wow, this is immaculate and crisp and beautiful. This doesn't have that level of like animation overload. But what it does bring that almost no other show in the business can compete with is vibes. Absolute immaculate vibes. From the ability to do this sort of sweeping, slow opening sequence of music swelling over the landscape and give us a really epic Western adventure, beginning of a big Western movie kind of vibes, or the like crazy tone shifts and color swaps and cut-ins and moments where magical stuff kind of happens and overwhelms the whole frame, or these, and there are a ton now because everything's in motion all the time, which is really cool. These big, multicolored speedline hyperlight extravaganzas that are just backgrounds, and if you aren't paying attention to them, they just sort of fold into the overall vibe of the thing. To these enormous sweeping shots of all the horse racers set up, to the little jokes that accent and offset everything and keep everything feeling light and goofy and moving along, even when we're dealing with fairly serious subject matter or tough, intense interactions between people. There's always something else going on that makes a little joke out of it or brings a little intrigue into it and spins things up. It's JoJo's. It's back. That's the feeling that it is, and there's nothing like it. And I I find myself now struggling to put into words what it is about JoJo's that makes it so goddamn JoJo's-y. Because it's not just the manga that's so goddamn JoJo's-y, but David Productions has produced a set of soundscapes and feelings and ways of shooting shots and scenes and ways of tilting the camera and bringing these strange cut-ins in that just screams JoJo's, and it lights up circuitry that I've wired into my brain that's like, I fucking love this. I fucking love this shit. And so I just end up smiling through the whole thing, not because of any particular thing that happens in the show, but because I'm watching JoJo's, motherfucker. Because it's the goddamn best. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not like a sort of situation where I'm going to go through and each of these scenes of people talking is like, wow, the most impressive and intricately drawn thing in the entire world. Not so much. Everything just lands. And I think it might actually like land worse if the style broke in order to do Sakuga stuff or to make things really accented on particular frames. Instead, it just feels coherent. Like I've been coherently sucked into a wild, crazy world of color and light and intrigue and fucking homies with shiny grills. Goddamn Gyro Zeppeli, what the frick? The pieces that are story elements, big story pieces that are obvious already, like the characters that have been set out from the set apart from the pack and introduced to us and named, and they're so interesting. The introduction of spin and the vibes around the balls before we even touch or see them is so cool and interesting. It's one of those things like I can really see it in the manga is like there's an object and that's totally fine. It's an object and it's mysterious and scary. Somehow Araki's able to do that and DP is able to do it too and add these accents to the spurs and the ball. What what is it about the ball? It's just that we draw it in like really high fidelity and focus in on it. But immediately we're locked in. It's like that's the most important thing that we've ever goddamn seen in my life. Gyro Zeppeli. And it begins. It begins. The emergence of characters that are familiar but unfamiliar is so cool, and I really don't even have the words to express how I feel about it because I don't really understand it yet. It's so interesting. I I love that we have these attachments, these emotional attachments sort of baked in, preformed to these characters, and at the same time, we're forced to reevaluate them continuously because these characters are not their ancestors from another dimension. They're different people. Um, and so like we see a Brando and that has a lot of influence, but we met we met a very different child of Dio Brando, relative of his, who had a very different sort of attitude toward the world and was actually a JoJo himself. So could Diego Brando become a friend and ally and write a different path for these two families in this universe than was the foundational story of our previous JoJo's lineage? Yes, yeah, it totally could, and that would be so exciting. So, on one hand, we've got this emotional attachment, this knowledge that this guy is somehow related to the greatest villain that has ever been or ever will be, and yet he's just a dude, right? He's just a cool guy with maybe some cool powers and weird attitudes. He's a little scheming, a little mischievous. I keep saying that word wrong, but we can't judge him by the other. It's like trying to judge a child based on the actions of their great grandparent who they've never met and wasn't even in this goddamn universe and probably like wouldn't even be born yet. So we can't judge them based on that knowledge, but at the same time we kind of have to. It's kind of all we have to go off of until they introduce themselves more fully, until we really understand what's going on inside their heads. Oh man, it's so interesting because everyone is different and yet somewhat the same. It gets to build off of the background, this sort of lore that has been generated by the whole of JoJo's up to this part, and yet it gets to be completely different and completely surprising. I think it's such an incredibly clever idea, and gosh, what a risk. I mean, what a risk. It's a risk every time that you start a new part, and so there's an element of that where people are gonna read it anyway and can be intrigued because it's JoJo's. But can you imagine being a lauded author of a beloved series and ending a part with a total reset and starting over in a new lore? Like you've spent decades building up a beloved lore set, and then you realize there's nowhere to go here. I don't want to keep writing the stories in this universe this way. I want to shake things up. And you have to have faith that your audience is going to come along with that. That they're going to switch magazines and they're going to keep reading your shit, even if you totally wipe the slate clean, remove every character that they have any emotional attachment to, reset into a totally new world with totally new characters, and this time there's no chance of of Jotaro popping up and being like, "Hey, what's up? I guess my marine biology stuff decided to take me here to where the next part is happening." We're not doing that anymore. It's a full reset. What balls, what absolute steel balls Hirohiko Araki had to have to make that happen. What a legend. What a legend. Okay, I want to go through the episode and comment and point out things that like stood out to me and I found really interesting, but I don't want to go like frame by frame through the whole thing exactly. And um I just want to point out a few of the moments where we do like classically JoJo's stuff that really brings the vibe. Moments where the music kicks in and sounds really excellent. I'll just say the music altogether in this episode adds immensely to the idea or the feeling of cohesion. I talked a couple times about like epic swells and these big sort of orchestral pieces that are modeled, at least in my mind, modeled after old Western film tracks. And I think that the landscape, the audio landscape of the episode is wonderful. There are a couple of moments that stand out to me that I think might be like character linked songs. Like when Sandman goes up and puts his money down, there's like a flute that comes into his piece, and I wonder if they actually used like a Native American styled flute for those bits of music and stuff. I think that would be really cool. It sounds like it to me. Um, so there are some pieces of music that sound really good. There are classic JoJo sound effects, just a couple of them, right? But when spin happens and when Diego Brando like moves forward and we get the boom, he's like boom, ah, and cool like cut-ins and color swaps and background changes and all of this stuff that's like the language that makes JoJo's, and literally no other show does it that way. It's all David Productions stuff. Oh, okay. So I want to go through it I don't want to get bogged down into just rehashing all of the events of the thing. We'll have plenty more time to do that when I go through and read the manga. We'll get to see the manga art directly, and we'll get to talk through all the dialogue and the actual writing of the thing with more time and more like ability to talk in between things as they're going. But for this, I just want to skim through the episode and point out big highlights and stuff that really stood out to me. For example, the moment that we focus in on the balls, the giant steel balls, and demonstrate that those are pretty interesting and weird, and what's going on there, that must be magic. And also, maybe we'll spend some time talking about some character designs as we're able to sort of slow down and stop on them and see what they look like. For example, Gyro Zeppeli has two pointing fingers pointing at his dick because he's a badass. They're pointing at his other balls, you know? Got balls here, got balls there. Point at the balls. What's up? I don't know why he has fingers pointing at his balls. It's just cool. Um I wonder is it the point? I don't think it's the point. It just is what he is. He's got these cool fingerless glove situation things. Those are pretty neat. Got double ball holsters, which has to be so strange. You have to imagine that in every town that he goes to, somebody makes fun of him for having big green steel balls hanging off of his waist. Because it's insane. Everybody else has guns. Like, I got my belt, I got my gun, you got nuts. Also, how did Araki come up with this? Our main guy who starts off with magic is gonna have big steel balls that spin and do magic. I wonder if he started with the idea of gyro, or if he started with the idea of spin. My impression is that spin is Hamon, or like the closest thing in this universe. And if that's the case, and we got the voices too, which makes me think it has to be. Araki has switched things up in the past, but I don't think you move away from stands. Not completely, at least. We brought Hamon back a little bit in the last couple parts a little. So I wonder if spin is the closest thing that this universe has to Hamon, an energy that people can innately kind of utilize and make a part of them. And as we learn that and you become like more spinified, maybe that emerges out into a stand. I don't know. Also, spin is maybe related to the galaxy shit that happened when we actually transferred over to this universe. It's possible. And a fundamental force in the universe and all that jazz, which is possible. What a boy. I wonder what these things that are on his chin and jaw are. Are they implants? Like literally gold that's fused into him? Or are they his beard cut in? No, I think they're his beard cut into that form. Crazy. And with the green lips and the bright blue eyes, what a boy he is. What a lad. He's got goggles. He's got a hat with a bunch of cuts in it for some reason. I feel like that would be disadvantageous, but maybe it helps with wind resistance and your hat doesn't fly off. Who knows? He's got armbands and his cape is attached not via like a neck thing, but by two shoulder things, which I think is very, very dope. And he's got a kind of like classic modern JoJo's physique, sort of otter mode, but very, very defined features. Strong rib cage leading to like a rather trim or thin waist. You get the like abdominal like divot in. Cool character. He stands above everyone in this first episode. He looms. He's really the big threat in the whole thing. And I like him for that because different people are after him for different reasons. A lot just see him as like, oh, he's in the lead of the pack. He's the one we got to take down. But Johnny is after something else. I also really like that Johnny isn't in this for the race and the money exactly, which I think means that by the end, Johnny could help one of his friends achieve the victory instead of trying to achieve it for himself. Maybe. He's after the secret of spin and the hope that it might get his legs back all the way up to the point where he says, this race is about taking my first steps. And he says, not literally my first steps, but my first steps as an adolescent growing into adulthood. But I wonder if by the end of it, he will actually be able to take his first steps as well. That would be really cool. Okay. I love the silliness. There are a lot of manga that take themselves pretty seriously, and they'll do jokey things, but when it comes down to cool characters who are just cool, not allowed to do jokey things, not allowed to mess with them, not allowed to be playful. JoJo's is always able to be playful. It's been woven in since the very beginning, is a bit of silliness to everything. And Gyro has a bit of silliness, and it comes through in his grin and little laugh. Yo, go, Zeppeli! What a strange thing. I also want to hear what his little laugh sounds like in the English dub. Oh, it's the same. Nyoho. So I wonder if if it's literally like nyoho is the way that he says his thing. I assume so. Shining gold teeth. What a guy. What a strange thing you've got there. What are these for? Nope. All right. This is our first magic, our first set of strange magical things, our first set of sound effects, and our first color swap in the whole of JoJo's Part 7. So let's take a look at it and see what actually happens here. Okay. Nunda, he reaches for it, and then there's a like a, well, it's like a thing spinning up, but it's like a large machine spinning up. Yeah? And then we get these wop, 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 wop of resonant circle-y lines. And I'm not sure if those are literally wind or if they're the force of the thing. And then it's as though Gyro directs it with his hand. Okay, and the color swap. Okay, so we go from here. Now we have green light over everything, but lots of things are color swap. The light of the ball itself goes pink, which is almost a perfect opposite. And his hat was reddish. Yeah, it's like reddish purple, and now it's blue. Everything directly color swapped. But Gyro's, a lot of Gyro's colors remain the same. Like, they're brighter, but his wrist things are still blue, his fingernails are still blue. The cloak he's wearing is still green. Yeah, he's accented as though he's like bathed in green light, but in large part his overall color scheme remains the same. That's really interesting. Count my fee. Thief! I really like, it's simple, there's nothing terribly impressive about this, but I really like this scene where he disappears into the background of the whiteness, and then the two figures sort of emerge from it at the same time. Looks great, really scary. What a horsey! Beautiful horse. And a deadly challenge. Let him go. Let him have the gun. And then we pull up and loom. Oh. Okay, so he slowly walks back, and then there's the loom. Woof. Okay, this is like leaning so hard on classic Western stuff. The flick of opening the holster, and then the immediate pan up with the blinding lens flare. It's like directly ripped from a Clint Eastwood movie, and I love it. And I love it. Big choral choir sort of chant. Ominous as fuck in the background. And then we cut in to an extremely detailed, perfectly cross-hatched, but from below, he almost looks like a nutcracker, right? He's inhuman, very, very like wood, like a statue, like something you cannot face down. Absolutely. Really cool. But once you do, that'll be the signal. Johnny comes over and watches. Hey, man, I'm not gonna do anything. Fuck off. No worries, no worries. But then he goes for it, and we get an awesome cut in and color swap. So let's accent it. What are you? Haha! My chance. Speeding black with red around it. Too late. This time we get a color swap to everything red toned. Boom! Wow! Little spin, little spin. Everything's sort of spinning a little bit. No pans, no zooms. Everything spins a little bit. Nice. Plunk, pluck, zonk, wrecked. I'll give you a chance, get on out of here, and it spins his own gun to kill him. Ugh. Ugh. So it's as though once Gyro has implemented spin on something, he has some level of control over how that expresses itself. And can warp bodies to fit particular, like, roles to do stuff. Ugh. Can cause damage, can control stuff, it's really versatile. It's been expressed as very versatile, which is something that Araki is one of the best in the goddamn business at. If you had told me that the ability to turn parts of your body into string would be able to create fucking infinity loops and avoid getting your stomach punched out and do the crazy shit that Jolene ends up doing with strings, I don't know if I would have believed it, but you tell me that Araki wrote it, I'll believe it. So Spin can probably do fucking anything, and probably if you can get enough of it or cause enough of it, you could probably like rewrite the rules of the universe and some shit. All the galaxies are spinning. The whole universe itself could be spinning. It's all spinning, right? So maybe spin is literally everything. That's the kind of a level of power that we're looking at or looking for, because Ripple is like that. Like Ripple is Hamon is life and light energy, and it's like literally electromagnetic radiation and energy just converted into a magical property. Spin could be that too. Ah, nothing, just a duel, no worries. I really liked this warp from Johnny's memory of what happened into his face. We get this image here, and then it all sort of morphs, and he appears over it and like confines the morphing part from the left side in. It confines it down, down to what's going on inside his head. That's really cool. Let's take a moment to talk about Johnny. Johnny's all American all the way. He's got hearts on his shoulders. We talked about Giorno wearing his heart on his sleeve very early on. Johnny is also wearing his heart on his short sleeves. He's got a little midriff showing. He's a bit of a twink. Sorry, but it's true. Spiky hair with two almost devilish spikes coming out of the top, which is very silly. And stars, 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 and a horseshoe. Why? Well, he actually has horses in his blood. Horse raising and riding is his thing. He's also got blue fingernails. Overall, this is not the most, like, over-detailed JoJo that we've met. He is not taking, like, a highly symbolic role yet. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think he doesn't have symbols to lean on yet. A big part of especially Jotaro's design and designs moving on from that are all these like bangles and pins and brooches and like collar ornamentation, stuff that has deep symbolic resonance to the rest of JoJo's. And Johnny doesn't have any of those yet. Not really. He's got stars, and there are a few of them in different places. And those can be his Joe star, but they can also be the stars and stripes of the US flag. He's got horseshoes, which I think there's always been a horseshoe, or often there's been a horseshoe in the JoJo's set of symbols, but this time they're more personal. They're directly linked to his past and who he is, which is this sort of prodigy horse rider who can't ride horses anymore. It's a cool design. It doesn't stand out to me as like the craziest JoJo's design, and I'm kind of glad. I think that you can really go too far, and a lot of mangaka and creators do go too far in trying to design characters that are too symbolic, and Araki has always managed to fold those things in while kind of towing the line, keeping things maybe not quite believable, but keeping that symbolic layer distinct and woven in a really cohesive way that feels really good. And I'm really excited to see if Johnny's outfit evolves over time. And if he acquires in the show, and also probably in the like manga covers and stuff, if he acquires more bangles and bits and symbolic representations of who he is, who his friends are, and where this story is going, like what matters. We don't have a chain, you know? Like a huge piece of the JoJo's jewelry situation is a chain, a link of a chain of links symbolizing the lineage being passed down, and now we're back to square one and link one. Wow. So he rushes forward and throws his hand onto the spinning ball, and he is whipped to his feet, and to Johnny, this is a revelation. Whoa! For a moment, he stands. I really was standing on my own legs. Gotta go after that. I like that this guy comes back and tries to fight him later. It's great. What did you just do? What the fuck, man? Top cause of death is mosquito death. Number 2 is getting kicked by the horse. You're about to get kicked by my horse. All darkness over Gyro. I really like that. Don't get your hopes up. It was just a coincidence. But was it? Was it? Johnny's seen something inexplicable, and it made him stand up. He's not going to give up on this until he's dead. He's going to chase it until the end of the world. So, that's our start. That's the motivation that our main character starts with. It's almost entirely selfish. That's really interesting. We'll see how it evolves over the course of the course of the thing. A reflex, so it really was the steel ball. I'm done talking. Hey, brat! I'm gonna do it, fuck you! So he goes for it, gets his whole hand twisted up, and Gyro just guides him over there and locks him in. Your upper body is strong, but the steel spin won't make someone who can't walk start walking again. Like I'd buy that! I will uncover the truth. I've got a race to win. Later. But he's gonna chase him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's one way to go. Can we talk about this eye catch? It's goddamn beautiful. I hope that there's a second one. I hope that there are more. Wow. There are all these screen tones on everything that give it a really cool texture. Yeah, these dappled screen tones. And then these like perfectly clear, like perfectly sharp lines, but there's a papery background to everything. Shoom, 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 shoom. And then this whole sequence is very reminiscent of like the shooting stars of the JoJo's in one of the previous OPs. And creates the whole running field for them to run on. Is that Gyro? Yeah. That's Gyro going by. All right. Hey, maybe Johnny isn't our main character. Steel ball run. So we're starting in San Diego. We're ending in New York. Going up through the base of Baja California, through Santa Maria Novella. Up through to Monument Valley in Utah. Awesome. Over across to Cannon City, Colorado. Long stretch between there through Colorado. I mean, that stretch takes you Monument Valley up over the Rockies. Shit, man. Then you get some flat and dry. Right? Flat and dry and hot. Through across to Kansas City. Woohoo! Then we got some crazy river crossings, the Mississippi, the Illinois. Looks like we're going to follow the Illinois. We'll head all the way up to go over, I think this is Lake Superior. Nope, that's Lake Michigan. Lake Superior is the one up north of it, up here. So all the way up around Lake Michigan to Mackinac City. That's going to be so cold comparatively. Then dropping all the way back down, crossing over the Appalachians through Philadelphia, and then there are 3 really close together spots: Philadelphia, New Jersey, Trinity Church, New York. Goal. Wow, so it really is cutting the longest diagonal line across the US. The detour up around Lake Michigan seems absolutely insane. It is summer that we're running, right? So it's probably not going to be deathly cold. It's still going to be sucky up in the Rockies. Fascinating. Is it something that I love about JoJo's is the sort of historical context that's woven into everything and the cool little cut-ins that are like maps or geography lessons or lessons about the history of a particular building or a particular town or something like that. They're so cool. It's like the music being woven in. It's elements that make JoJo's culturally significant as though it's like anchored in reality in some real way. I like it. Simply to see the start of the race, get a history lesson on who Johnny is and how he connects to horses, and a piece that I think is the first expression of worldview perspective, primary, like, what does Johnny value? What's his core belief? Yeah. And the core belief that we're presented is that felt beautiful to me. I felt like I could understand them. And the light comes through and he tells us people love beautiful things. Fair. And if that beautiful thing is in motion, then it transcends beauty to become the most beautiful thing ever. Wow. It's a cool perspective. I really like it. I like the idea that the sort of ephemerality of living beautiful things makes them more powerful than the static ones. But it also resonates deeply with other stuff. Spin is moving. All the universe is moving if we believe that is a fundament of things. People are moving. So, like a beautiful person in motion becomes immensely more beautiful. So, then what is beauty but to live your life to its fullest? Yeah? To keep moving. I think that there is real power to this very simple formulation that beautiful things in motion are the most beautiful. And that's what Johnny values. So that's our setup for our character. It's very simple, but it has the ability or the potential to mean everything. Just like Spin. Young Master. So we get a story of two brothers with similar but slightly different haircuts. He's got his swingy spikes, and his brother has crisscross spikes, and he dies. Fuck. So you, the previously ignored child, become the champion. Became a serious racer, called a prodigy, winning tons of things, gathering people, flattering me from under the horse, money and gifts. It was a symbol of triumph and a mark of authority. It has been for generations, and it is still now, especially in the 1800s, you know? This is pre, like, the full transition to automobiles. But it didn't last long. Dorothy Parker in Wild Horse. I wonder who Dorothy Parker's supposed to be. I don't know. A chance encounter and an asshole move. Johnny's a dick to this kid. He cuts him in line and he doesn't give a shit. I'm Johnny Joestar. This is Johnny Joestar. Don't you know who this is? Lie to the bouncers and get him carried away. Don't fuck with a Star Wars head who's lining up to see the movie. Don't fuck with them. They might pull out the blaster pistol and go off. Oh, I knew it. You're the coolest. Was this even worth lining up for? Yeah. Is this even worth cutting in line for? He doesn't even care. It's just like an expression of being above everybody else. It's like, it doesn't matter. That's just a nobody. It's some punk. That punk has a piece, and now you don't have any legs. So it all falls apart. What the hell? And he's down. Body horror and true evil are something that Iraqi is one of the best in the business at expressing, and this does a really good job of expressing that. I'm not going to dwell on it too heavily, but a fly-ridden horror show of a hospital rehabilitation center where patients are not being taken care of. Johnny is sitting in his own business, miserable. and he's being used as a blood bag, basically. What is this tube? Well, I'm just stealing your blood, so why don't you shut the fuck up and deal? Nobody visits you. Nobody wants to look at you. Nobody cares. So this guy, sees himself as downtrodden by society and gets the opportunity to fuck over a rich kid. Hell yeah! Best day ever. Literally shoves the race newspaper down his mouth. Ugh. It's gross. It's horrible. It's kind of hard to watch. It's also a direct one-to-one reference to one of the sequences in like episode 8 or 9 of Ashita no Joe, which is crazy because that is what I was supposed to watch today. There's a sequence where Joe ends up in prison, and he literally walks into the prison and get thrown into a cell with a bunch of other people, and they're like wolf eyes from the darkness of the cell cackling, and then they all come out, they jump him. Dude takes a towel, soaks it in water, twists it up, and they force that down his throat to like choke him while they beat on him so that he doesn't scream. Horrifying scene. One-to-one reference here. I wonder if Araki intended that. It's like the same scene. It could be Convergent Evolution, or it could be a reference to an ancient show. Who knows? Either way, this sucks balls and places Johnny's determination. Yeah? If there's a JoJo's trait, it's the ability to get up and fight somebody even after being exploded once or twice. It's the ability to take a couple of bullet holes and keep going. It's the ability to have your whole set of insides warped into a figure eight of wild string and still fight back. It's the ability to find a way even when it's impossible. And so Johnny finds a way. I'll find out no matter what. I will ride a horse again. Easier said than done, kid. Just getting dragged around and getting his leg impaled and stuff. Man, he might not feel pain, but he sure is susceptible to infection. Ugh! The horse is bad-tempered and out of control and old. But later, Gyro says you chose the right horse. That's really interesting. Jiro's able to see a little bit more. Oh man, the horse jumping around near his head is so scary. There's no way. If he could ride it, he'd be beyond human, and Gyro sort of sets himself up here to be impressed, yeah? I freaking love Sandman. I think he has the coolest character design. The tattoos are cool. He's got dual snake shoulders. The braids are cool. He's kind of pretty, you know? What a dope character. And the fact that he is going to literally run it on his literal human legs. Badass. Kind of literally. All I need is the white man's money. I like this guy too. I wonder what his relationship to the story is going to be. If he's just going to be the sort of guy behind the scenes making it all happen, or if there's something more nefarious about him. We cut that out. My like suspicion of him drops immensely when he's like weeping into his I think it's his wife, into his wife's chest and like, oh, I'm gonna be so ruined, the investors and stuff. But he is our character in a position of authority here, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's something a little bit more sinister going on, or if there's some like bigger reason for this race. Like, what's the point of the race, really? I don't know. We'll have to find out. So it's race day. Everybody getting their Bowie knives ready. What do we got? Sanitize pills? Sanitibe pills? Yeah, something like that. Water sanitizers, I assume. Compasses, canned rations, steel ball run race, on the stage, something. Some candles? I think those are candles. Interesting, and a bedroll. Cool. All the stuff you got to bring with you. Oh, he's deciding what he's going to take. He's deciding whether he should take scissors or the teddy bear. He takes the teddy bear. Huh. That's really funny. I didn't really catch that. That's really funny. Let the band play The Great Race Across North America. Mountain Tim. We'll meet him later. I bet he's a stand user or equivalent. With Shadow Rider. I wonder, I feel like he's modeled after a TV character or something. You feel me? The master from Mongolia, Datan! What a beast. Giving us that, like, eagle staring off into the distance vibe. Untouchable. God! Your boy. I hope he comes back. I hope that getting foiled in the cactus patch doesn't mean that, oh no, wait, it's an Avdol joke. He immediately loses. Oh no. Oh no, it's an Avdol joke. Oh fuck. He's not coming back, is he? Or maybe, wait, maybe we'll do the same thing and he'll come back at one point and then immediately lose again. God damn it, Araki. He's gonna get me. Silver bullet. With a star on its forehead. Oh my god, it's the star too. Ah! Ah! With Dio on his helmet. Diego Brando. #1. He's #1 as well. The nobleman of British horse racing, Diego Brando. Wow. So in this universe, Dio, Dio is wealthy. Because the thing that started off everything was the envy, the jealousy, the belief in someone downtrodden that they should be #1. But if Dio is just #1, there's no need to take over the world and shit. You're just chilling. You're already doing it. It's fine. A short 10-mile race, 1 hour time bonus. You get to start the next stage a little early, and $10,000 to start. Holy shit. Oh, can we mention speed lines? They're beautiful. There are going to be a bajillion of them in every angle possible over the course of the episode, and they're beautiful. I'm not going to be able to add to note every time they happen, but look at those. I love speed lines. I love them so much. I love that JoJo's uses these classic anime stuff. The crazy cut-ins and the speed lines and the color swaps and stuff. It just feels eternal. It feels timeless. I love the train, too. I think it's really cool. He really is crazy. So we get this little conversation that I think is really important. I'm going to find out the secret. And he says, you chose the right horse. An old horse has experience. Since I'm intrigued, here's a hint. Puts his hand on the ball. You already have the answer. If you have the will to ride a horse, why don't you use it? Because you can't get up in the saddle. Hee hee. Wait, what is it? Yo. Wild. And he takes his advice. What does it even mean? One more time. So it's the connection with the horse and the rotation up and into the saddle, huh? And he has to do a full flip as he's going. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't get it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's all coming together and I don't get it. The vibes that I get are that it's about, like, in some way going with the flow. Like, there are already things in motion. Yeah? And if you try to go against those things in motion, you're going to lose. But if you move with the flow of things, things will go in your direction. Because you're going in the direction of everything else. There's something to it. There's something to it. Either way, Johnny is able to use that advice, and whether it clicks for me or not, it clicks for him. He gets himself on the head one more time and has the horse launch him up, around, and over, and it seems to be the first time he has used spin. What it actually was and how he actually used it is unclear. He just used the horse. But if it's combined somehow with what Johnny cares about, beautiful things in motion, then maybe it makes some level of unconscious sense. I don't have the words to put it into conscious sense, but it makes some level of unconscious sense to me. We'll see where it goes from here. It's time to begin. And so we begin. And they're off! Okay. Let's talk about horses. Horses are consistently across the span of time, horses are consistently one of the hardest things for animators to consistently draw properly. Bar none. I mean, hands are hard, but everybody studies hands, and you've got a pair right in front of you that you can use as references whenever you want. So hands usually people figure out how to knock out. People and faces and characters are like the baseline for animating stuff. So those are going to get knocked out basically no matter what. Same with landscapes, the background animators and background artists are going to cover that, and that's their job, and those will be great. Same with buildings and locations and things. Same. But animals, I mean, most shows don't call for more than one or two scenes with a couple of horses dragging a wagon, if that. If they're set in the modern day, you almost never see a horse. Some shows will call for a dog occasionally, or maybe a sheep or two, but usually those are done in an anime, cutesy kind of style, and you're not trying to draw like hyper realistic dogs. Sometimes you'll get cool accents of like a crazy wolf or something, maybe in a dungeoneering show or an adventure story, or big creatures like that. But grounded grounded representations of four-legged creatures are usually pretty hard, and horses are one of the hardest. They've got really like distinct and visible musculature. They're iconic, so almost everybody has seen them enough to recognize when they look funky. They look really funky when they're done badly. They usually look really funky when you do sort of a basic CG horse. It's usually a Clydesdale alike, and it's like kind of looks jank as shit. So we've got a real challenge here, which is that there are going to be horses everywhere. In every episode, probably, there are going to be horses, and there are going to be a lot of them. So we've got to be able to both draw really detailed up-close visions of horses, like Valkyrie from the side, where we see the horse's whole mane in the little bundles and all the details on her. Gonna have detailed depictions of horses doing horse things, like stomping around and running around a little track with Johnny Joestar dangling behind the horse. We're gonna have to do lots and lots of different depictions of horses, and we're gonna have lots and lots of big, wide frames with lots of horses all running in unison the entire frame through, unless we do them every time as like a static hold and the horses are never moving. They're just like a static shot of horses, and then it's not really a fucking anime, is it? So we've got a real challenge. We need a set of staffers that can draw horses well and can draw them in high detail, up close and personal, with characterization and expressions and emotions. Like, as the horse hits something and isn't able to get footing on it, the horse is going to panic, and panicked horses make a face, and they look a particular way, and their bodies contort in a particular way, and then they fucking smash into each other and go flying, and gotta have a whole staff that can draw those. I wonder if that is the original DP staff that has just learned to do it, or if they brought in anybody who's particularly horse equipped and good at drawing horses, or if they went to horse ranches and studied fucking horses for a long time. I think you'd have to. I absolutely think you'd have to. But that doesn't solve the equation entirely either, because just highly detailed horses doesn't cover shots like this one, where you have a bajousand horses all running at different points in their gait, with different colorations on the horses, at different moments. Insane. Insane. So, what do you do? The answer is you make CG horses. You have to. I think that these are CG horses in this scene. They sure look like it. And more importantly, we can match up a couple of the legs. So I was watching this guy, and I noticed one back over here that's at the exact same position in its stride. Uh, ah, let's look at, I guess, this one, this dark horse right here. And there's this one back here that's been colored silver, but they're in the same position in their stride. Look, that one and that one are in the same position in their stride. Boop, it goes here, and it goes back, and they cross over, and it goes forward, and then probably we can find another one where they're the same, and probably a lot of them are the same cycle, just offset, so they're at different parts in the whole horse gait cycle as we move forward. So there are probably, I don't know, like 8, maybe 10 different timing cycles all placed out and then repeated through, and it's enough difference to make it look like a pack. We can fuzz them out a little bit with the dust in the background, But as a whole, we got to take every single one of these horses and put them in their own cycle. I think they probably are all identical, but then hitting different flows. Like this one hits first. It's got its 2 legs up, and then this gray one is going to hit 2 legs up, same frame, or at least very, very close, just recolored. And that's going to have to be done a bunch of times for a bunch of different sequences. We'll have to decide in every frame that has a horse in it, do we hand draw this horse or can we get away with it being CG? Is it far enough away from the camera where we can CGify the horse and just run it that way? I think it's an incredibly impressive endeavor to try to take on drawing this many moving creatures all at once. It's like, it's what you gotta do it. There's no other way to adapt the thing. But holy shit. How? How is he doing it? Oh yeah, this is a fully CG Joestar here as well. So I think the horse is CG as well. Yep, those are 3D modeled hair. You can kind of tell by some how the pixels are and stuff. It's hard. But Johnny's definitely CG. The shadows on him move like really consistently. Whoa. JoJo has really, like, DP over the last couple of parts pushed what they could do with CG in pretty interesting ways. We're pushing it again. I think it's cool. We seem to have models made up for every character and their horse, which is an incredible task. And we seem to be able to fold those in a way where they're like they barely jar me. They're really not bad, and I'm impressed. I think it's cool. I hope that it maintains that as we move forward. We go from there, and then we're in this scene, and I think this is drawn and drawn. I want to learn more about the steel balls. Got our little eye catch. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And then we're into it. We're off to the races. Oh, yeah. So this is all drawn. These are beautiful depictions of these horses from a really intriguing angle. And then this, I think, is probably CG. Because we whoosh that camera all the way up out of here. Whoa! But it looks great. I gotta say, I think it looks great. Like, not even just, like, looks good for being CG. I think it looks great. They have actually sold me on the vastness of the race and all the moving parts that are going on in it. I'm really impressed. Woo! Off to a quick start is Gyro Zeppeli. And now we dive into the racing itself. And Araki gets to show us that he's good at this. That he's really good at competition and people fighting against each other. It's like the kind of stuff that he weaves into a single episode or a single stand battle, but instead of being a video game that we go into and do a horse race, this is the foundations of everything. And I think it's a really awesome foundation. So, super expressive expressions from the horses. Dance through. Somehow Johnny manages to get out before everybody else gets riled up. And then we get this really incredible sweeping. Whoa! I want to watch this in a little bit more. We sort of blur them a bit here. I wonder if we transition them to CG via that blur, or if it's just to help us not have to draw quite as much detail. Nope, we don't transition to CG at all. They're just a little bit blurry, probably because they're moving really fast, and then they kick up, and we pull the camera around in a matter of like 1 frame or 2, like from here to here, we whip the camera around back behind them, tumble up in the air, wow, and hold there. Oof, 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 oof. Diego Brando. And also the camel. God damn it, Abdul. No one can withstand this attack. But a little bit of tricky spin does the trick, somehow. How did it? That's unclear. He drives Gyro up there, off to the side, but then drives himself straight into the cactus. Yeah, how it happened is definitely unclear to me. But Abdul is dead. We have to lose him again. No! I'll take whatever I can get except diseases, especially a time bonus. Yo! Yo! Meet Pocoloco. Pocoloco is insane. Pocoloco is very lucky. Pocoloco is absolutely insane. We'll see. Did he actually find it? We get those bombs as Diego Brando approaches. He's using a special talent. Now, here are some cut-ins. Ting, ting. Lovely. And speed lines behind? Ah, even better. But he's not speeding up. He's just waiting for you to slow down. This is... I love being back in the Iraqi... It's so weird. I love being back in the Iraqi world where shit doesn't make sense, but I can just go like, okay, fine. That's just how it is. We're gonna move on. I don't get how the quirk thing works. He reads the quirk and is able to tell when it's going to draw a breath and slow down slightly. And so he doesn't speed up, but sort of speeds up and then catches up a little bit and moves ahead into the... sure, yeah, cool. But he reads people, he reads creatures, and then he manipulates them or uses his opportunities. Very interesting. A little bit DOE, but not evil, you know? You can't fix a quirk. Just like you can't change fate. We'll see about that. Gyro Zeppeli seems to make his own fate. And he does seem to be able to... Well, he doesn't want to fix a quirk. He wants it to be expressed to the maximum, yeah? That's really interesting. It's like going with the flow a little bit. I didn't know you had a quirk, but you don't need to fix it. Run and bring it out even more. Ah. And a legend is born. And he says the same and the same to you. He says it and JoJo can kind of hear it, huh? Maybe not. Maybe I just got that impression for some reason. Sandman runs the cliff. Pocoloco takes the leap. He had an old fortune teller lady. I gotta look up her name. What's her name? She's like a core villain in that part. It's Enya. Enya the hag. Oh my god, that is her. It's with the hat too. Holy shit. Oh yeah, with the stripy hat. It's goddamn Enya. Oh wait, she's named after Enya, isn't she? I just got a joke from like a decade ago. Oh, that's so fun. She's named after literally Enya. I didn't even know. Lucky break indeed. And now he's here. I'm gonna win. And I'll go home and live an even happier life. Gotta love it. Love that he just wants to live a peaceful, happy, rich life himself. Good for you, buddy. The fact that we have these two minority characters is really cool and interesting. Also, JoJo is paraplegic. He's paralyzed from the waist down. That's three characters with something that sets them apart from like classic normal white British or American guy. You know, we've got a black guy coming in the 1890s. Not a great time to be African American in the United States. And we've got a Native American guy coming in. Not a great time to be a Native American in the United States. Both people with something to prove and something about their world to change, you know? Something important. I think it's really cool and important that these characters are here. And I'm excited to see how they play into the rest of the story. I think it's clear to me that they are going to be Joe Bros. Like, pitch perfect, those are Joe Bros. Whether we're going to have a classic squad who are actually allies, or if everybody's going to maintain a competitive spirit all the way through this, I have no idea. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we go with these characters. Sandman wants the white man's money, right? He's taking an antagonistic role toward the whole system that he's faced off against, and that comes through as well with him choosing to rely on his own native strength and legs and stuff. You know, he's built for this land. He grew up in this land. He knows the shortcuts for it. He's ready to roll, and I think that makes him an awesome competitor. And the fact that he's literally a human being running alongside horses is the most superhero bullshit that I've ever seen, and I have no complaints. I think it's really cool. I'm not thanking him. I made it over the cliff thanks to my good luck. All right, Pocoloco. Hey-ya. Ah, the detour through the forest. No worries. Eyes closed. What a wild thing. His luck is insane. And even getting knocked off the horse ends up being lucky as well. Insane. Go downhill, we lose a bunch of horses, including Pocolocos, but of course, he ends up being a boon! He surfs down the goddamn mountain. I'm gonna skip through a little bit faster because while the pace kicks up here and there's a bunch happening, we're just moving straight through to sort of have this big photo finish climax with Gyro running to the end. Sandman across the way racing a train. A power perfectly suited for a race. Awesome. And eventually a neck and neck and neck and neck and neck and head and legs and body. Photo finish for everybody. The one who will surpass him is me! This is beautiful. This slow-mo of the horses really reaching forward. The slow transition of light. Like, what a cool color swap. Swap all the colors and then burst into action. But it is not enough. Only the strength of the legs matters now. But he's got something they don't. He's got spin, a headwind, and jet engines. I guess he's using Bernoulli forces in order to give himself lift and raise his way over the thing. I prefer to think that he's rocketing air out the back of his cloak and turning them into rocket jets, because that seems really freaking cool to me. Gyro claims the first stage, the $10,000 prize, and the hour time bonus. The race leader is born. He walked into this place being the race leader, being the favorite. JoJo tells us that he was drawn by something beautiful shining in the darkness. Maybe it was hope. Maybe. My first steps. Not physically, but we'll see. I think I get the impression that I'm supposed to expect that by the end of this, Johnny is going to regain his ability to walk. But I'm going to guess right here and now that while that will be the expectation, that is not what's going to happen for him. And that he will gain power and capacity, but not that capacity. Yeah? We'll see. In the sense of growing from youth into adulthood. It all began when I met the mysterious man named Gyro Zeppeli. The winner of stage 1 of the Steel Ball Run. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's happening. It's really happening. It feels unreal. It feels surreal to me to be sitting here today watching JoJo's. A week or two ago, I had this like fuzzy notion that JoJo's was going to be coming out soon. I was kind of like, oh, that's far off into the future. I'll have to figure out how to fit it into my schedule. But when it's actually here, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Had to dive into the insanity. And here it begins. All things considered, it's pretty simple for JoJo's fare. It's pretty straightforward. It sets our stage, it introduces us to a bunch of music, a bunch of characters, a bunch of vibes, the aesthetic sense of the whole thing, the direction that it's headed, and the kinds of things that can happen. I know, and you know, that as this goes forward, it's going to become insane. The rules of reality themselves will be overwritten over the course of this horse race, and I can't help but be thrilled. I'm so excited to see what weird, insane shit Araki puts into this portion of his manga. I'm so excited to have a new JoJo. I'm so excited to have a new cast of characters to get excited about and to piece out. I'm so excited to see more of Araki's art and learn from it directly. I'm so excited to be here and to share this experience with you. Thanks for watching this episode with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you'll join me next time for more. I hope you'll join me fairly soon for a manga reading where I will go through the portions of the manga up to the point that we just got to and read through them and do funny voices for the characters maybe and talk it through and talk about Araki's art and see if we can note the point where it jumps from weekly to monthly and get really impressed by his incredible manga and just love and enjoy this wonderful medium and this wonderful entry into it. Thanks for joining me for this episode, this first episode of JoJo's. I don't know when the next one is going to drop. That's on Netflix. But when it does, I'll be right here, ready and waiting to rejoin the race and follow our characters off into the future. Thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you enjoyed it, check out the next one. It'll be early on the Patreon, or the manga reading will probably be early up on the Patreon. And I will see you whenever the next portion of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 7, Steel Ball Run, releases. Thanks so much. See you there. Much love. Peace.